Hello and welcome to the Toffee Blues, your source for all things Everton. And this is the match reaction to Everton's 3-0 defeat against Wolves. Um, I think I think this is the type of result and admittedly the type of performance that, will start to make a few people start to panic again and, look nervously over their shoulder, I guess. And, the panic maybe starts to set in a little bit more, like I say. But I think it may be important to try and have a bit of perspective, and like I said, this might not be what a lot of people want to be hearing, like straight after a match or whatever. But I think it's got to be considered that we've played a lot of games during December. This is always a difficult time um for any team that this time in the calendar, and and overall, I think if you look back on December as a whole, we probably come away with more points than we probably would have expected at the start of the month. I think most people will probably agree with that. And like I say, today, obviously is an unacceptable performance, an unacceptable result, and there are plenty of criticisms to take from it. But it's also got to be remembered that these players are shot. Like that's 3 games in the last week. Playing before that, playing against two of like the most difficult teams to defend against in the league, and that you have to work hard to try and break down and create opportunities, and and that's what we did in those games. It was two really strong performances against two great sides, while missing key players. Obviously, I think the absence of Decore and Ghana really cost us today. Um, and I think it was probably clear at the start of the game that Dyche wasn't keen to put too much faith into Gomez today, and obviously elected to go with the five at the back, which is, and people will forget that it has served us quite well, like when we've used it this season on the whole. It helped us get a very good result against Burnley and of course against Villa in the Cup, and I think we've used it a few other times this season to good effect. And obviously today, I think I hold my hands up. I think even the most ardent Dyche supporters, and I'm probably out there myself in that regard. Can't deny that we got it wrong. That the manager got it wrong today. Should have stuck with the three in midfield. Despite um what Gomez lacks in terms of pressing and tracking back or whatever. And that just that extra body that we missed in midfield um was really obvious today, and it was something that you could tell they'd chosen to focus on. And just exploited us really, winning so many turnovers in the middle of the pitch, that just kept costing us time and time again. And because of the manner of our defense, there were players getting dragged over like when they shouldn't have been. I think you saw that in particular with the second goal, where Brantford gets dragged over, and it's just which leaves Keane exposed to just get beaten for pace by Hwang Hee-chan, because of course he is. Um, and so, yeah, like I said, that element of stuff is frustrating. Obviously, people will have been particularly unhappy that Keane was put in again, and it's the same criticism that's been levied against Dyche for so long, that he has to get Michael Keane involved somehow. Don't think that's the case. I do understand why he elected to go the way we did today, and like I say, make up for that absence in midfield by maybe trying to like put more behind us and trigger that press in different points and try and launch counter attacks from different stages, which again, like I said, we've done before this season and it's worked. Um, but it just didn't work today. Probably wasn't suited enough to how Wolves play, and their energetic counter attacking style themselves, and their quality in forward areas, which Gary O'Neill, it's got to be said, has done really well to amend, because it was something that they were really struggling with at the start of the season. But like I say, when their chances fell to them, they took them really well and could have scored more. Really, of course, they had 2 goals ruled out for offside. Let's not forget. So, like I say, it was really poor. I'm not going to say that. That it's nothing to worry about whatsoever. But obviously, it's the same with every result, is it? There's always a little bit of panic whenever we lose a game now, it seems. And like I say, this one was a particularly bad defeat. Um, I'm not going to try and hide that or anything, but like I said, I think it's clear the players need a break, and obviously it's not ideal that because of the stupid scheduling of fixtures that we've got to play again on Thursday in the FA Cup. A week off probably would have done these players some good, and it might have made Decore potentially available. Obviously, that is a concern as well. Of course, we're entering January now. Ghana injured at the moment, but even if he returns to fitness, is still going to be unavailable because, of course, he goes off to the African Cup of Nations with Senegal. Obviously, Decore doesn't have that factor, so hopefully he's fit as soon as possible and he's back to his best as soon as possible, really. Because, like I say, it is clear just how much we miss him when he's not there, and we have to play very differently and not in the way that has served us so well this season. So, like I say, I'm not making excuses here, but there are factors to consider about a result like this, and like I say, got things wrong, but and like I say, were well beaten. But on the other hand, that's probably one of I don't know 2 or 3 games this season where we've been like there's no positives to take it in a sense in that we've been well beaten. You look back to Villa at the start of the season, just a poor performance all round, really, just never really got going. And then I guess I feel even a little bit harsh putting City in that regard, the other day, but it was their quality that shone through in the end, and particularly in the second half, we were basically chasing shadows for most of that. But yeah, and then today, of course, yeah, they were much the better side. Obviously, I think the um the factor of Mario Lemina missing the game, obviously for horrific reasons, that definitely seemed to spur them on a little bit and spurred the crowd on as well. So obviously, we have that factor to contend with as well. But like I've said before, I'm not making excuses for this, but I think you know just a little bit of perspective was maybe needed, I guess. And like I say, people are panicking again and saying like, "Oh, we're definitely back in a relegation battle," and like because of the form and of late losing the last 3 matches, or relegation starting to look like a certainty again or whatever. And it's not as clear cut as that. Obviously, the points deduction makes things very deceiving. Like I say, we'd still be comfortably mid-table without that. And based on the form we are, we don't deserve to be anywhere near this thing. Obviously, that's extenuating factors, but they do still contribute. And the fact of the matter is, we are still down there, and there's no guarantee we're going to get anything back from this appeal. So obviously, the reality of the matter is that we are still down there, but less less so on other merits, really. So it's just something that's got to be considered, really, I guess. And you know once we get our players back, once fitness is regained, and we're back sharp and fresh again, I still have no concerns that we'll be able to get enough results to hopefully steer away from that. So yeah, like I say, this is obviously a blip on the road, but hopefully it's nothing more than that, I guess, is the overall point I'm arriving to there. So yeah, I think that pretty much just sums it up, really. Please leave a like if you enjoyed, comment below giving your thoughts. I'm sure there will be a lot of people disagreeing with what I've had to say here, and I maybe think I'm being a bit too defensive of Dyche or whatever. I don't know. But yeah, comment below, leaving your thoughts, and subscribe to the Toffee Blues channel for more Everton content. And we will see you in the next video. Cheers.